Hello guys, this is KTB Vlogs or TBZ Production here as I'm back on my vlog channel here as doing another video here for you guys and doing another book review. And of course, as of the last video I uploaded, of course, I actually talked about the third book from my book series, An Evil Thing 3 Dark Company. So that was the last video I uploaded, of course. And as I'm going to continue on doing book reviews, of course, as for other book series as well, for the Halloween season, since I actually did upload the other book review, of course, and of course, it is on one of my favorite series, of course, Goosebumps. So I see by the title, and of course, as today, I'm going to be doing a review on one of my other, I say, number one favorite from Goosebumps, and see by the title, we'll be talking about Stay Out of the Basement. And of course, this book always been my favorite ever since I first read it when I was in fifth grade, fourth grade. And I still like this story from beginning to end every time. So, of course, like I said, how I did the review of The Girl Who Cried Monster, I would basically talk about the story and what I feel about the story and what I like about it, and all the stuff. Not like tell you guys the ending of the story or what happened, as people, so it gives people a chance to go check out the book if there's new people that are discovering these books. So yeah, got a lot to kind of for me. This story always been my favorite. Every single time I think about this story, I always think about it all the time. And of course, Stay Out of the Basement is basically, I say, one of R.L. Stein's best books. And of course, you know, these first three books always kind of felt like that in some ways when you look at them. As some people will hate Monster Blood. But, in some ways, I actually like the first two Monster Blood books. I did not, even though I never read the third one, even though I do have it, and I never got the fourth book since that's the rarest book. I always liked the fact that the early books were the ones that were better. And as I said in the Girl Who Cried Monster video, I said, I say the first 20 books were basically his best books. That's why I kind of believe. Because as some people will say, like, after those books, oh, he wasn't writing them. He had a ghostwriter writing those stories. He did not really write those stories. Well, you gotta make sense of during the time of Goosebumps. R.L. Stein was just not writing these, of course. He was writing Fear Street, remember? He had standalone books and all that stuff. So it's not like he had one thing doing going and he has a lot of other stuff around. So it's kind of makes sense if you when you become a author, if you have different series you started and creating more other series that you're doing, you can multitask and do them. So that's why I kind of believe of that whole style of being a author and all that stuff, and I kind of see it. So of course, let's get into, of course, this book. So of course, I did talk about that in the Girl Who Cried Monster video about the what I say this best books were from Dead House to Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. All right, so for Stay Out of the Basement, of course, it follows a character named Margaret Brewer, who actually has a younger brother named Casey. And in the story, she actually felt kind of worried about her dad, Dr. Brewer. Dr. Brewer. And of course, he actually has been doing a lot of different things in the basement. And of course, it kind of makes it feel like, something is very wrong. And even like in the story, he actually says the title of the book, of course, "Stay out of the basement." It's kind of a good nod. Of course, he says the title of the book series, so it's kind of a good take on that, and I kind of like that a lot. And of course, throughout the story, of course, it kind of gives you that mystery, and you trying to like, why is this? What's going on? You trying to figure out what's happening, and you actually want to solve this. Like you want to keep trying to figure out what's going on. And that's what I kind of like about Margaret's character in this book. I like her and her brother basically starting to try and figure out why their father doing this. And of course, it's kind of gives you that scary atmosphere of someone that you care for actually feels different or strange. And of course, saying like I said, like because the the mom character, is not in the story that much, and it kind of makes sense of you trying to see how would it feel without her being not being there. So that's what I kind of like about the whole tone of this story. It gives me that mystery and want to figure out what's going on. What's why is this happening? And I love the whole story from beginning to end, and I say this was one of his best stories. Definitely great moments in the story, of course, of them going in the basement, seeing all these plants, and seeing they're big and they're huge. They're breathing like people, and it kind of gives you that atmosphere. Like it makes you like imagine you seeing this, and that's what I kind of like about the whole tone and the whole point of the story. It kind of gives me, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm trying to see what's going to happen next. And that's what I like about this story. It keeps you, it keeps you reading. So that's why I said the same thing with The Girl Who Cried Monster. It keeps me reading. I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Like, uh, is they going to do this, or is they going to do that, or it keeps you guessing. And that's what I like about Goosebumps in every way. So, another points of the story, of course, what I do like the story, I kind of like how the pacing of the story, as you know, is not a long story, but I kind of imagine if the story was fully like probably like a 200 or 300 page book, I can see this being fully expanded, which it would be pretty amazing. And of course, Dr. Brewer's character was great as well. Great character. I kind of like how, you know, the whole entire time in the story, he tries to explain to them what he's doing, and you kind of thinking that is this the real, or is this their father talking to them, or whatever like that, and it like I said, it's kind of it makes you like, and it makes you guess or make you keep guessing and keep going, and that's what I like about Stay Out of the Basement a lot. Some people will say I will basically love Dead House, but no, it's always Stay Out of the Basement. But Dead House is a great story too, so I can't not don't respect the first book at all because it's basically where it all started. And I would say Dead House, Stay Out of the Basement, and Monster Blood were good were good starting points of the series. And of course, like then following Say Cheese and Die, then The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb as well. You know, great story as well. I like Let's Get Invisible, and of course, yeah, Night Living Dummy, and Welcome to Camp Nightmare as well. I definitely would say that one too. And yes, I would, yes, pay a nod to The Haunted Mask, even though I'm not going to review it. But of course, I will always say Stay Out of the Basement is always my number one book in the series, and still is to this very day. Love the story from beginning to end. It basically keeps you guessing and always makes like you want to figure out what's going to happen next. And that's what I like about Margaret's character. I like how she's trying to figure out why her dad is doing this. And I kind of like how she's trying to keep solving, trying to get any more information, how she going to handle it, and do stuff like that. And that's what's so great about her character. And I'd say she was a great character in this book a lot. And of course, respectfully, of course, I would definitely say the episode of Stay Out of the Basement as well from the original TV show. Best episode of all time. Love that episode completely. And technically, that episode will always be great to check out. Definitely watch the episode for Stay Out of the Basement. Basically, one of the best episodes in the Goosebumps series in the book in the TV show. So definitely, yeah. Because it's kind of surprising. Two of my favorite books from the series were the better episodes in the TV show, and that's true. The Girl Who Cried Monster was a great episode, and definitely Stay Out of the Basement is too. So it's the same way like with the Haunted Mask, since this was the first episode. But yeah, it kind of makes you be surprised of how this story was great and definitely would be kind of a good one to check out. And I definitely will recommend you guys to read this one. Best story, great atmosphere from beginning to end. It's worth it. And of course, I did see the episode that had the starting point of the newer show that they was making, and I kind of did like how the Stay Out of the Basement story kind of infused with the that whole season of that Goosebumps show. But I kind of wish it would just be like just stay as that one story for that episode and basically be just this whole story and don't have to be multiple stuff happening around the same time. I mean, as to be surprising, like some of the episodes they were doing were, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I can see them do the haunted car, like as an episode. I can see them do, and surprisingly, they mess up the girl who cried monster and turn to the boy who cried monster. No, that's completely wrong, especially if it's part of Disney. Nope, horrible. And of course, if they just kept it like that, it basically be like this one episode basically based on this book. That's what they should have done. And that's why I kind of think they messed up on. Especially, I will definitely will love to see a whole Camp Nightmare episode, and of course, a whole episode of this, and you know, they could have did it. Okay, so you guys, as you saw, where the video actually ended, of course. The recording during that video, the review for Stay Out of the Basement, was actually the ending part of the video started to glitch and started to, I guess, mess up the connection and everything. And basically, what I actually tell you guys what was messed up during the recording, of course. I was actually talking about the the latest TV show that ended. Of course, talked about what I kind of think of how the TV show for the newer Goosebump could have been for the just have the episodes to be one episode, of course, based on a that book, and actually have that fully story besides of actually trying to combine it with the other stories in each episode in that season. So that's why I actually discussed about, and of course, kind of talking about how the Goosebump community is, and it's almost similar to the Dragon Ball community a lot, because some of those people would just bash on anything that, of course, that would be great for people to, see how they could do this story or how more it could be. And that's why I actually discussed and towards the end of that video. And of course, as hope you guys enjoy the review of Stay Out of the Basement and what you guys think of the story. Do you think this story is still the best story in the original series? And do you guys think that this story is still a great one to read? So that's my thoughts and everything. And of course, stay tuned for the other book reviews that I do plan on doing and all of that. And of course, the next video it would be how to kill a monster. And following that will be Beware the Snowman. And of course, we will be reading one Fear Street book as well. So I'll be doing those reviews coming up as this rest of this week for the Halloween season. And hope you guys enjoy. And like, comment, subscribe, and share. And check out the other review on The Girl Who Cried Monster. And see you guys next time. And peace.